Hi, this is Morley, and this is the M-Wire. Well, new documents have been unsealed regarding the Ghislaine Maxwell case. Names are being dropped, and such as Bill Clinton and Alan Dershowitz, in case you don't know who he is. He recently said that once a vaccine is available for the virus, you should be taken to a doctor kicking and screaming, literally, if you refuse it. Interestingly enough, the FBI is being implicated in this in the sense that a victim came to them in 2014 requesting pictures and videos for a civil case that she was mounting against the accused. That's very telling in itself that if this happened in 2014, that obviously means that they knew about it, doesn't it? Well, let's get into this thing here. Ghislaine Maxwell trained underage girls as sex slaves, documents allege. Ghislaine Maxwell sexually abused underage girls and joined Jeffery Epstein in directing Virginia Roberts Giuffre to be sexually abused by others. Giuffre claimed in a cache of documents that has been unsealed in the U.S. She trained me as a sex slave, Giuffre is quoted as saying. The documents were part of a now settled civil litigation case against the British socialite and include claims about her alleged involvement in the sex trafficking scheme of Epstein, her longtime confidant and convicted sex offender. The documents stem from a 2015 civil action brought against Maxwell by Giuffre, who has claimed Maxwell lured her into Epstein's orbit as a teenager under the guise of offering work as a masseuse. She said the couple subsequently pressured her into having sex with numerous rich or notable men, including Prince Andrew, U.S. politicians, wealthy entrepreneurs, a famous scientist, and a fashion designer. Maxwell and all of the accused men have long denied those allegations. The files include personal emails between Epstein and Maxwell, as well as information from a discussion between Giuffre and her lawyer. It is your contention that Ghislaine Maxwell had sex with underage girls virtually every day when I was around her, correct? Giuffre was asked during a May 2016 deposition containing the document cache. Yes. All right, with whom did Ghislaine Maxwell have sex with in your presence, she was asked. Well, there were a lot of girls involved. We weren't on a first-name basis with each other. I would be able to give you lists of names of girls. It was continuous, Giuffre answered. Shortly after, Epstein's U.S. Virgin Island estate was a place where orgies were a constant thing that took place, Giuffre said. She had to perform oral sex on Maxwell in Epstein's presence by the pool. When asked who Maxwell directed her to have sex with, Giuffre said, I'm going to continue to tell you that they both directed me to do it. It was part of my training. They both told me, you've got tickets to go here. This is who you're meeting, and this is what you're doing. I'm trying to tell you that they both did. Ghislaine and Jeffrey both directed me. They both paid me, and they both directed me, Giuffre said when pressed. You have to understand that Jeffrey and Ghislaine are joined at the hip, okay? So they both trafficked me. Ghislaine brought me in for the purpose of being trafficked. Jeffrey was just as part of this as she was. She was just as part of it as he was, Giuffre said. They trafficked me to many people, and to be honest, there's people I could name, and there are people that are just a blur. There was so much happening. Ghislaine Maxwell brought me into the sex trafficking industry. She's the one who abused me on a regular basis. She's the one that procured me, told me what to do, trained me as a sex slave, abused me physically, abused me mentally, Giuffre also said. Many documents in this case have been subject to an intense legal battle. Maxwell's attorney in the civil suit had argued to many records under seal, maintaining previously that this series of pleadings concerns attempts to compel Ms. Maxwell to answer intrusive questions about her sex life. The documents, they argued, are extremely personal, confidential, and subject to considerable abuse by the media. The Manhattan federal court judge Loretta Preska ruled on July 23rd that they should be unsealed, however, saying the court's finds that countervailing interest failed to rebut the presumption of public access. Documents involving Maxwell's deposition have not yet been released, pending on appeal by lawyers for Maxwell. Epstein killed himself last summer while awaiting trial for the sex trafficking charges. In a separate case, federal authorities arrested Maxwell on July 2nd and charged her for allegedly participating in an Epstein's sex trafficking. Maxwell, the daughter of the late publisher Robert Maxwell, pleaded not guilty on July 14th and is in custody awaiting trial in New York. Maxwell has repeatedly denied wrongdoing. Her lawyers have said she vigorously denies the charges and is entitled to the presumption of innocence. Jeffery has been interviewed by the FBI, but no charges were brought based on her allegations, and she was not one of the 3 alleged victims in the current criminal case against Maxwell. The documents released on Thursday help shed light on Maxwell and Epstein's relationship, in which the personal emails between Epstein and Maxwell. Epstein wrote on January 25, 2015, "You have done nothing wrong, and I would urge you to start acting like it. Go outside, head high, not an escaping convict. Go to parties. Deal with it." The exchange followed a request from Maxwell, who was romantically linked to Epstein, to be distanced from his dating life. These emails also appear to contradict her lawyer's claim that Maxwell had not contact with Epstein for more than 10 years. Which they said in making an argument for bail. Some of the documents also relate to previous claims by Jeffery as the former U.S. President Bill Clinton riding on Epstein's plane, and allegations about the lawyer Alan Dershowitz. Dershowitz, who had worked as Epstein's attorney, had repeatedly denied misconduct. "I sought to release all of the documents because they prove that the allegations against me are false," Dershowitz said in an email to The Guardian when asked for comment. During questions about Bill Clinton, the documents show Jeffery as she saw former president on Epstein's island. Representatives for Clinton did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Clinton has distanced himself from Epstein. In a 2019 statement, a spokesperson said, "President Clinton knows nothing of the terrible crimes Jeffery Epstein pleaded guilty to in Florida some years ago, or those who he has been recently charged in New York." The documents show that Jeffery was asked if an interviewer whether Epstein ever bragged about the age of any girls of whom he had sexual relations. Yes, he did. He did all the time. The worst one I heard from his own mouth were these pretty 12-year-old girls he had flown in for his birthday. It was a surprise gift from one of his friends, and they were all from France, she alleged. Epstein told Jeffery powerful people owed him favors, according to the documents. "Lots of people owed him favors from what he told me. That is why I believe he does so many favors in the first place." Jeffery was also asked whether Prince Andrew, whom she claimed had sex with a teenager at Epstein's behest, would have information about the financier. He would know a lot of the truth, she said. In 2015, a judge struck out the material concerning Prince Andrew as immaterial and impertinent. He has vehemently denied allegations of misconduct. Maxwell met Jeffery at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in South Florida, where the then teenager was working as a locker room attendant. In the civil lawsuit, which had been settled, Jeffery claimed that Maxwell had defamed her by stating she was a liar for accusing Epstein and Maxwell of sexual impropriety. An extensive collection of documents in this case were also unsealed in 2019 that features claims, since denied, that the world leaders participated in Epstein's alleged sex ring. These filings were disclosed shortly after Epstein's arrest last July. So there's going to be more documents unsealed in the coming days or weeks. I certainly will keep you posted as to what's happening when they arrive. I thank you very much for listening, and please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'd like to see more comments, please. I'm interested in what you think about all this. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.